Tonight, we're hearing from 6 Good Samaritans who stepped in to save a CHP officer's life on the side of Interstate 8. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. Officer Tony Pacheco was shot on April 27th after investigators say the suspect tried to grab the officer's gun. The officer is now recovering at home, and the men who rushed in to help him were honored today. CBS 8's Kirsten Holmes has more from the ceremony for the humble heroes.
All 6 of those Good Samaritans came here to Sunrise Church in front of a room full of other CHP officers to accept that award for saving Officer Tony Pacheco's life. And they say they were just doing the right thing.
When I see the car of the officer with the lights, and I don't see any officer and I don't see any people, that's like it was like something weird for me.
2 people holding the guy against the guardrail, and then I saw the officer who had just fallen down in front of the vehicle.
And that's the moment they jumped into action.
And just run to the officer, drop the gun on the floor, pull the officer, and struggle with the suspect for a good 25 seconds. And I dialed his wife's number because he couldn't open it. So I'm the one, I opened his phone, looked for his wife, and opened it and handed it to him. And I looked in my hand, they were all full of blood. My pants, my shoes, they were all full of blood, but that second I really didn't care. $11.99 means officer down, and that's when I started using $11.99, and that's when literally each and every dispatch, every officer out there heard it, $11.99. That's the worst code.
Let's see if they have a tourniquet. And removed his belt for another tourniquet, and just kind of rest assured that he's going to be all right.
Floriberto Pineda Zayoga, Lau Youssef, Francisco Soto Sesma, James Allen Carver, Hunter Nemeth, and Travis Allman were honored with California Highway Patrol's Commissioner Superior Effort Act Award for their bravery on April 27th when they stepped in to help CHP Officer Tony Pacheco as he struggled with 25-year-old Yu Hao Du. Floriberto's wife was driving when she says he told her to stop and then just jumped out of the car as she slowed down.
Terrifying, but at the same time, when you see an officer, and I can say like anyone with need help and you can help, like there is no other way you can act.
They do everything for us every day. They risk their life every day for us and for our children, so I didn't think like twice to go over there. 6
complete strangers coming together as a team, all to save a life.
I think everyone played a role. I think even if you don't know how to do anything, there was a gentleman up there who was just holding the officer's hand and reassuring the officer at the time. That's just as important as placing the tourniquet.
Kirsten Holmes, CBS 8.
So glad to see them honored. Yu Hao Du, the suspect, pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. He will be evaluated by court-appointed doctors before his next court date in July.
We can't fail the American people again. Since Uvalde, just over a week ago, there have been 20 other mass shootings in America, each with 4 or more people killed or injured, including yesterday at a hospital in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Tonight, President Biden is appealing for tougher gun laws in the wake of several deadly mass shootings, most recently in Uvalde, Texas, and Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Just about an hour ago, the president wrapped up his speech to the nation. Skylar Henry has more on that and what's already being done by lawmakers on Capitol Hill.
President Biden is calling for action after a wave of large-scale mass shootings sparked renewed demands for gun reform.
How many more innocent American lives must be taken before we say enough, enough?
The president's Thursday night address to the nation follows the deaths of 19 school children and 2 teachers in Uvalde, Texas, 4 people at a Tulsa, Oklahoma hospital, and 10 at a Buffalo, New York supermarket.
We should reinstate the assault weapons ban on high-capacity magazines that we passed in 1994 with bipartisan support in Congress.
Thursday, a House panel approved the Protecting Our Kids Act, which includes a provision to raise the required age for buying semi-automatic firearms from 18 to 21. If it passes the full House, the measure is unlikely to muster enough support in the evenly divided Senate.
The public is demanding that we take action.
Republicans slammed the hearing as threatening the Second Amendment. Some brought their own weapons.
Here's a Sig Sauer 320. It takes a 20-round magazine.
In the Senate, Maine Republican Susan Collins says a group of senators discussing gun reform is making, quote, rapid progress toward a common sense package.
So we're working, hoping to come up with a bipartisan agreement so we can pass something at the federal level that will actually target this problem.
The Senate negotiations are focused on improving background checks and so-called red flag laws that keep guns from people who could harm themselves or others. Skyler Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
The Senate passed no major gun reform legislation after 20 children were killed at Sandy Hook Elementary in 2012. As more victims of the Uvalde school shooting are laid to rest, there are even more questions tonight about the police response to that tragedy. Texas State Senator Roland Gutierrez says information Uvalde police received from 911 calls inside the school was not relayed to the school district police chief, Pete Arredondo, who is in charge of the response. The head of the Texas Department of Public Safety has said police waited to confront the gunman because Arredondo believed they were dealing with a hostage situation. 19 children and 2 teachers were killed. Right now, we're in what's known as the 100 deadliest days for young drivers. More teens die in car crashes between Memorial Day and Labor Day than any other time of year. Tonight, the Auto Club of Southern California is reminding teens that these crashes can be avoided. Raul Contreras Jr. was 18 when his reckless driving killed a 12-year-old and permanently injured another. He served 22 years in jail.
And I thought about those 22 years, what I wish I could have done, what I wish I would have done different, how I wish, that I had options. I wish I would have been able to just stop and say, you know what, this doesn't seem too safe.
Top factors for deadly crashes among teens are speeding, not wearing a seatbelt, and distracted driving. In a little less than an hour, students and staff at Castle Park High School in Chula Vista will get a chance to share their concerns about the campus there with the community. They say the school is falling apart, and they have the pictures to prove it. They started an Instagram page called Save CP Now, where they post about cracked windows, ruined outdoor fields, mold, and termites. Tonight, they're asking the Sweetwater Union High School District to do something about it.
If the district expects a certain responsibility of us to be great students and our staff to be great staff and to be a great school, we expect them to answer why our school looks like this compared to other schools in our district.
Tonight's community meeting on the Castle Park campus starts at 7. We have a crew there and updates from the meeting coming on our 10 and 11 o'clock newscasts.
In North Park, we're working for you to get answers about an issue people are complaining about. People tell us that drivers are constantly speeding in the Altadena neighborhood. CBS 8's Ariana Cohen shows us the action some neighbors are taking.
Yes, we're at 33rd and Redwood. I spoke with a small group of neighbors here in the Altadena neighborhood, and they say this problem of speeding has been going on for decades. Terrence Morrissey reached out to CBS 8 News, and he says pets have been killed, cars have been sideswiped. One car even ended up on his neighbor's lawn over here. And this neighborhood is different than others because it has narrow streets and 2 schools nearby, McKinley and St. Augustine, which creates traffic and more children walking by. Here's what Terrence had to say.
Scared. I have a 9-month-old son, and he can't play in the front yard. We can't really be out here in the front yard with him because the traffic is so relentless. It's so dangerous. There is a sense of fear just crossing the street here. We just want a sense of well-being.
Neighbors created a petition that has more than 250 signatures. They've reached out to the city and Councilmember Whitburn and are waiting for action to be taken. Neighbors say a solution would be speed bumps, a roundabout, or even new street signs with a lower speed limit. Now, Terrence Morrissey said he had a community sit down with Whitburn and the City Transportation Department. The Transportation Department is asking for 120 days until they can give recommendations to Whitburn. So right now, it's a countdown until that 120 days is up to hopefully see a solution to this. We will continue to work for you on this story. Reporting in North Park, Ariana Cohen, CBS 8.
District 3 Councilman Stephen Whitburn is also responding tonight, saying in part, quote, residents should not have to fear for their lives when taking their dog for a walk, playing with their kids in the yard, or just walking around their neighborhood. We are working closely with community members in addressing these concerns. Whitburn went on to say that the Transportation Department will be evaluating the area for traffic calming solutions. And don't forget, CBS 8 is working for you. If there's an issue you'd like us to look into, email us at yourstories@cbs8.com. The city of San Diego is trying to get ahead of ocean pollution in Mission Beach by ramping up street sweeping schedules this summer. Starting this month through September, Mission Beach alleys will be swept every Wednesday as opposed to every other week. They are also including new routes and using newer, smaller electric sweepers. The goal is to reach nearly every alley in both North and South Mission Beach.
This morning, CBS 8 joined teams of volunteers in their big red shoes to help support the Ronald McDonald House.
Red Shoe Day organizers say with more than 60 teams, they raised about $224,000 in just 3 hours. That's impressive. $250,000 just this morning. This is the house's largest community fundraiser, and it helps provide a home away from home for families with children in local hospitals. If you still like to donate, we have a link on our website at cbs8.com. And we have one of the big red shoes here. They're gigantic. It's good. You can stuff a lot of money in here.
You going to go out collecting?
No, I'm just giving you an example of what was out there this morning. And if you missed it, go ahead and go online because you can still make your donation.
Ronald McDonald House, San Diego. It's worth your time.